now. Washington Mornings on the Mall. 105.9 FM. At AM 630. WMAL.
7:37 on WMAL. We are joined on the line by our good friend Katie McFarland, a Fox News national security analyst and host of FoxNews.com's DEFCON 3 show, which can be seen at 2 p.m. on Wednesdays on live.foxnews.com. Hey, how you doing, KT?
Just terrific.
Well, we got this bomb plot that's been broken up, and we're getting a lot of detail. I have two questions. Number one, what do you make of this whole bomb plot story that is as it has evolved? And number two, are we giving away too much detail in some of the reporting on it?
Yeah, let me answer number two first. Yes, we are giving away too much detail on this. Why? People are doing it for political reasons. It's the same way after the bin Laden raid that all these details that were supposed to be kept secret came out, and even the Secretary of Defense criticized the fact that too many details were let out. Because what it does is it endangers the people who are participating, like the Saudi agent. And the second thing it does is it lets our adversaries know this is how we do things.
Well,
this is how we are going to find you.
Let me stop you just there.
Adapt.
Because the AP apparently knew about this story last week.
And kept it quiet.
Yeah, they did.
And that's to their great credit.
To their great credit. But, I mean, there was a lot of people talking about this thing, if they knew about it.
Well, but I don't think it had ever broken in the public domain in any way, shape, or form. The problem I have is now, after the fact, that we are giving out an awful lot of information that may potentially be useful to our adversaries. I just think, it's such a great achievement. Let's just announce it, pat ourselves on the back, and not dwell on it and the operational details of it and exactly how it was done and which intelligence agencies cooperated with us and what are the names of the officials who cooperated with us, because it makes it very difficult for them to cooperate with us again.
Right. That's for sure. All right.
I'm looking for the next plot. I'm looking to make sure that we are in a position that the next time this happens, we can use our assets and our
hopefully
assets,
we'll still have those assets around.
Analysis as well as we have for this one.
So, will we overreact to this at the airports now that we know that there was another underwear plot that may not have been able to be detected through?
Well, I noticed. I've done a lot of traveling in the last week. I went to debate at the Oxford Union in Britain last week, and there's definitely been enhanced security at the international airports in the last, say, 10 days. I think that the whole TSA system we have is should be turned on its head. We spend an awful lot of resources on 100% of the population so that we're politically correct and we treat everybody the same. So Granny on her way to Disney World with her grandchildren, they're going to frisk Granny, they're going to give her the pat down, they're going to check the diapers of the grandchildren, when what they should be doing is saying, look, there's 98% of the population that really doesn't affect us here. Let's focus on the people who fit a profile that we know has been associated with suicide bombers. That doesn't mean racial profiling. In Israel they do this, and as the head of the Israeli airport security told me, said in our country we can't racially profile because everybody looks the same. Everybody's Semitic. So we can't tell the difference between somebody who's a terrorist bomber and an Israeli citizen by the way they look. We have to use other means, and those are psychological means. We need to pre-screen people before they make their reservation. So what it boils down to is that what is the behavior of a terrorist? He's bought his ticket in cash. He's bought it at the last minute. It's a one-way ticket. He's got multiple entries on his passport and visas to places in the world where terrorists train, Yemen, Somalia, Pakistan. So I think that if we can eliminate a great majority of the people as not fitting that profile and then focus with laser beam-like certainty on the people who do, we'll be much better off and much safer. Why is that so important now? Because we've seen with this bomb, it's a bomb that could get through metal detectors. It could get through the full-body scanners. So we've really got to stop worrying about Granny, stop worrying about the teenage girl who's got lipstick, lip gloss, and nail polish.
Yeah, exactly.
And start focusing on somebody who's got underwear in his bomb.
Kip Hawley, the former head of the TSA, says that we should be focused on things that have to do with bombs and forget about the nail clippers because that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and I'd even take it a step further and stop worrying about all those other things that might be made into weapons and focus on the individuals.
So you were at Oxford last week, huh?
Yeah, I was invited by the university to debate at the Oxford Union,
right.
Which is like a debating society at Oxford, which is a mini House of Commons, and it's where prime ministers honed their debate skills for the
Cool.
last 200 years.
Wow.
Not easy to debate the Brits. Were you debating them particularly?
I did. The shadow foreign minister was my opposition, and the motion was that Barack Obama deserves a second term, and I debated. I opposed the motion and said that his foreign policy has been, except for the bin Laden raid and the Nobel Peace Prize that he managed to convince the Norwegians to give them. Other than that, it's been a failure.
Well, what is the general feeling in the UK right now on this administration and the war on terror in general?
Well, they want out of Afghanistan. They're still especially young people, still are mesmerized by Obama.
They
I
are.
was very interested in, during the debate. You get heckled and you get interrupted throughout the debate. Just think of Margaret Thatcher in the Iron Lady. That's what it's like.
Cool.
And so one of the students in the audience popped up and said that she was an American and she had been really in favor of Obama and she had been part of the whole youth movement. She said that I'm now about to graduate. I've got a scholarship to Oxford. I'm graduating with one of the best degrees on the planet, and I face 50% unemployment. So I think that says an awful lot about what the trend will be going forward. They maybe love him now, but a year from now when they're still sleeping on Mom's sofa, they're not going to love him as much.
Very quickly, Joe Biden was on record as saying that, we're not respected around the world. We weren't, but we are now.
He has a perfectly consistent record, and he has just reinforced it again. He has never been right about anything. He has never been confused, but he has never been right. Iran, they're talking about Iran's nuclear weapons, and America's the problem? Come on, please.
All right.
The Iranians have been developing an adversarial foreign policy and the weapon systems to do it since Jimmy Carter was president. And I must say, the Obama administration is Jimmy Carter deja vu all over again.
KT McFarland, Fox News national security analyst and a good friend of this program. Thanks for joining us.
Great pleasure.